Alright, cutting patch panels for the 911. Got this one that I cut out. The curve on it is, on this side, the slope of the curve is different than on this side. Not a lot, but what I did is I just made a paper template right here. I'll trace this off of the car, which I then traced onto this piece of sheet metal, cut it out with these snips. Then I got my coupon. I put this piece of conduit in the vise. It's what I had in the shop. Just put a mark on here so I could line it up straight. This line here is where the bend started. So I clamped it in place with 2 pairs of vice grips, and then I guess I clamped it this way, and then I started hammering that bend over. Or maybe I clamped it this way. I think I clamped it this way. Then I started hammering the bend over, and it's just to the car, to the bench, to the car, to the bench. Did that for 30 minutes, and I would slowly shape this. You can see that this bend doesn't match the pipe, so I got the initial bend from the pipe, and then I had to get it to lay flat, so I'd hammer it out on here. I put these dashed lines on there to index it, to know where I needed to work on the curve. And then, so I'd hammer it out on here to flatten out the curve, and then I'd put it back on here, and I'd just hold it in place with one hand, and then I'd hammer to bend back over this edge because it needs to curve around. It's just the slope of the curve isn't a circle, it's more shallow than that. And it's just going back and forth, and you can see the bottom side there, that's the slope, and then top side, the slope. It's just ever so slightly different. You can, looking at it at this angle, I think you can kind of pick up in the camera that this radius is tighter than this radius by a little bit. So it's gonna go here. This was my first attempt at patching this hole. I burned through, then I burned through, then I burned through. It's just a fucking mess. So this goes here, and it's pretty good. It's not perfect, but I think once I cut out the other piece, especially this little gap here on the bottom, I'll be able to push that in and get it to fit, and hopefully not screw up the welds really bad again. We'll see.